So the question that often is asked is agile always the right answer? And we'll take a look here at a model for determining when is agile appropriate and when is something else appropriate. Um, uh, but before I go to that, I want to remind you to go back to the deck where we talked about agile is not a noun, and take a look at that video, because you need to be careful that you're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Agile is an adjective. It describes a state of being nimble. You need to be agile when you need to be nimble. Now, today, most industries actually you do need to be nimble. So it's going to be a more often than not scenario, but it's not always. It's not every case. And I just want to make that really clear. So go back to that video and watch the Agile is not a noun video, and it talks about sizing your build cycles to the change cycle. So here we have a matrix that you can see. Along the horizontal axis, we have your delivery knowledge. So your understanding of how you create and how you deliver the products and services that you're delivering to your customer. So this would be like using construction as an example. I can go to a general contractor and ask them, I need to add an addition to my house. How long is it going to take? And they can give me a really good estimate as long as I'm using the commonly used materials, right? If I'm just doing a regular old 2x4, 16-inch on center studs with sheetrock and regular latex paint, regular lighting, normal electrical requirements, normal windows, normal roof, everything, as long as I'm just following the general normal stuff, they can give you a great estimate because they have high delivery knowledge. They know how to build those things. They've built them before, many times before. If I am asking them to build something that's really unique, that's out of the box, I'm going to ask them to build one of those energy efficient houses that's made out of hay bales, right? The general contractors never built with hay bales before. They would have a low delivery knowledge, and they could not give me as good of an estimate. They couldn't give me a good estimate on cost. They couldn't give me a good estimate on time. They couldn't give me a good estimate on anything, right? The budget for it, they really don't know because they haven't worked in that a whole bunch, unless they were, the people that build those things. So the other thing here, the vertical axis, is your requirement stability. So if you are building something that you know is steady, you know what the requirements are, they're not going to change, particularly in the time it takes you to deliver, that if you have a stable up here at the top, if your requirements are really stable, then you know that there's not going to be change, right? It's possible, though, that you're in a highly volatile environment. More and more industries are moving towards this, right? We talked in the video on where we talked about the Sony timeline, right, and innovation cycles. That was the Agile is not a noun video. Again, you're going to go back there and take a look at that one. It talked about how much faster things are moving today. That in the 70s and 80s there was somewhere between 9 and 7 years of cycle time between product innovations, and today in the 20 teens, the innovation cycles are on the order of months. Right? You need to be innovating in the order of months. So your requirement stability is going down over time. And so that's why I said, things are moving more towards needing to be agile in most industries. So if you're up in the upper right-hand corner up here in the high stability of requirements and high process, I know what I'm doing and I know how to do it. I know what I'm doing and I know how to do it. Then a traditional sequential model makes sense because you know what you're doing and you're not going to change in mid-process. You don't need to be iterative. You don't need to be incremental. You just need to get it done, right? So it's possible that getting it all done is one way to go. If, on the other hand, you have low requirement stability, you don't know what's going to happen, but you know what you're delivering and how to deliver it, right? But if your customer is going to be changing, then you may want to deliver iteratively, right? So I'm going to do a little bit, get your feedback, and then iterate on that. If you have high requirement stability but low delivery knowledge, It's something that you know isn't going to change, some federal requirements or something like that. But as far as how to implement it, we don't really know how to implement it, right? Then you want to be incremental. It's clear what your requirement is, right? You're that second, that incremental delivery. I'm clear on the picture in my head of what's going to be. I just can't get it all out at once, but I want to get some of it out. And I don't know exactly how to deliver, so I'm going to limit my risk by delivering a small amount of it at a time, right? And then obviously the last section is going to be iterative and incremental. When you have low requirement stability and low delivery knowledge, you absolutely need to be agile, right? You need to be, that's where you need to be nimble, right? Truly nimble, delivering quickly and iterating on what you deliver so that you're able to adapt to the changing context that you have as a business. So that's it. We talked about iterative and incremental delivery. We talked about what they are, how to combine the two, and then when you need which kinds of things. Nobody else talks about this model. This is something that I developed and have created. So if you've got questions, love to hear them, and I'll see you in the next video.